Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and we're looking here today at another one of my mandarin plants. This is one that I've had for, I think, if not a year, then maybe even 2 years. It came from Yew Garden. Now, as you can see, it's got a very pale, washed out look to it, which interestingly, I've noticed my mandarins do tend to be a much more paler colour. Now I'm not sure if it's because they suffer more from nutrient deficiency, or if they're naturally a paler plant. Obviously this is not healthy, although it's lasted pretty well over winter in the greenhouse. There's no signs of new growth on it. I think the plant is probably very pot bound. I mean, I can see roots on the top of the plant. It's another one that I've not watered at all. There's the original blue label from the Spanish supplier of it that supplied it to Yew Garden. It says Orogrande. So it is a mandarin. I've put an aluminium label on it because the blue one will disintegrate in time. Not named by Yew Garden. When you sell them, they just sell them as mandarins, and if you're lucky you might get this variety or another one. So I think what I'm going to do is repot it today in some 511 mix, because it's still in the original pot, which is about 5 or 6 litres that it came in. I'm going to go up one size in pot to that shape there that I like to use. Let me just grab one. And these hold, I think these are 6 litre pots, and I think these hold about 9 litres. So it's just about a 50% increase in size, in capacity, which I think will be enough for the moment. But I'm going to make sure that it's well fed, because I think I'd like to get it to a much larger, a much darker green than this. As I said, this plant has not been watered since November when I put it in the summer house. So I keep them very, very dry in the hope that they don't suffer from root rot problems in there, because it takes them about 2 or 3 months to dry out at least. In fact, it's still heavy, the pot. Now that's probably an indication of partly the fact the soil's still moist, and partly because it's probably in that crummy, heavy compost that a lot of the European grown citrus come in, because they don't have to worry about it, because they don't have the root problems we have. So what I think I'll probably do is pop this out the pot in a minute, and then come back to you in the video so you can see it repotted, and I'll see what I made of the compost on it, and we'll see if the new 511 does it a lot of good. So I'll be back to you in the next part of the video. Okay, so we're all repotted now. Now, interestingly, in the middle of the root ball, there was quite a large clod, I'd describe it, of a bright orange, sort of fine clay type soil, which I would imagine was the native compost that the Spanish growers had the plants growing in when they were propagated in Spain. And then around it was that sort of light pale brown, peaty, almost peaty, probably cocoa coir that I think Yew Garden probably repot the plants in when they buy them in from Spain. I suspect they come in small excuse me, small plastic bags, and then I think Yew Garden or another buyer probably repots them and plants them into these sort of 6 litre pots that you saw at the start, which is what they sell them in. They probably grow them on for a year or so in their nursery, but I think it was probably devoid of nutrients. I'm hoping that, weather permitting, I've given it a good watering, and I'm going to feed them well as well as they start to grow. I'm hoping that this one will green up a bit more than this, and the roots will develop nicely in the 511 mix that I've used, which is beloved of the American citrus growers, and seems so far to be working quite well for me over here. So that's my Mandarin Orogrande. Well, that's how I pronounce it, might not be correct. And obviously I'll be keeping an eye on this over the next couple of months to see how it goes. Now, we have got at least a week of temperature, minimum temperatures above 5 degrees at night, so I'm going to leave it outside because I think they're quite happy to be outside in those temperatures, and obviously if I suddenly see signs of a frost coming up, then at that point I'll pop it back into the summer house, but I think it should be okay having been repotted, because the daytime temperature is going to be sort of 12 to 14 centigrade, so somewhere in the 52 to 58 Fahrenheit bracket, which should be okay for them now, and it means it gets full light. So thanks for watching that short video. Excuse me, much appreciated. Please give me a thumbs up, share the video if you think it might be useful to anybody. As usual, I'd say please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and click on the bell if you'd like to know when my new videos come out, which I try and do daily. I'll catch up with you on the next video. Brett out for now.